Hello and welcome to episode 61 of the Select Characters podcast. My name is Chris Anderson. I will be your host, and I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts who are now living in, well, hellfire essentially, in America. Sam Yates and Enrique Cancel. Hi.
Was that a stab at our political climate?
No, it was a stab at the actual climate over there now, because you told me it's really, really hot where you are.
It's real hot.
It's going to get worse.
It is balls hot. It is like sweltering.
Tell that thing again about your iPhone, because that was quite funny.
Yeah, see, I didn't know this, but apparently the iPhone has, like, I guess, a failsafe where if it gets too hot, it won't let you use it till it cools down, I guess, to save you a scalding battery explosion or something.
Yeah, that's just nice to know that that is built into the iPhone so the thing doesn't explode in your pocket when you're in a warm climate. So that's pretty good.
It is true, but it's also kind of worrying.
Yeah, it's a bit too hot for comfort. I'm glad that I'm here living in a country with very moderate temperatures, and the forecast seems to be in favor of colder weather, so I'm cool with that. But anyway, enough about weather. Let's talk about video games. And it has been yet another fantastic week for video games, and I'm going to skip myself this week because I played Pokemon and Civ 5, and I talked about that last week, and
Civ 5 is
hasn't
great.
been any new... Sorry?
Civ 5 is great. You can always talk about that.
You got them right, it's great. But I'm just playing it now to tide me over until Civilization 6 comes out. I'm really, really looking forward to that. But apart from that, Pokemon mostly. So have you guys got some Pokemon-related stories you want to share?
The fucking servers have been acting up again, because I think ever since they opened up servers to the UK, it's just been nothing but server issues logging on.
Well, they've been DDoSed, I believe. They got DDoSed earlier today, which was pretty shit because I was out and about with a friend trying to find Pokemon. But
Then he realized,
cut that one short.
What the fuck am I going to do out here now with no Pokemon?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes away from the nearest Starbucks. How the fuck did I get here? How the fuck do I get back?
Pokemon Go has helped me make great strides into my research, and how much time spent in a church parking lot is a weird amount.
Pray tell.
That's
how long?
I'd imagine around 10 to 12 minutes. Generally, any amount of time spent in a church parking lot is a weird amount. There's never anybody there during the week, and you just pull up. That's where all the Pokestops are around me. They're all in churches.
Same here. There's like a couple like just random ass churches where like the Pokestop's there, and you can always tell when there's somebody there because, like you said, there's that one awkward car parked in the middle of the lot.
Yeah, I'm like, man, if I pull in here and this guy shows me his cell phone, I'm never coming back. Anyway, so I got that going on, but it seems okay. The game's a buggy mess.
It is.
It is.
There's been a couple. I've actually rage quit a few times just because you'll go to catch a rare Pokemon that spawns, and then the app will freeze and crash.
Yeah, it's been really unstable the past couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm confident they'll fix that before long, but at the moment it's pretty hard because I kind of want to play Pokemon, but I can't play Pokemon now. Like, the option is removed from me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird that you don't actually play anything with it, but yeah, you still feel that.
Oh, yeah, it's just an extra activity to do when you're out and about, isn't it? Plus, the whole social aspect is still really fun. I was in town yesterday, and there's this little square next to a couple of stores, and there's 3 Pokestops in the same square. People threw down lures on every single one of them. So it was like a group of 20 to 25 people, just divvied up in several groups, just standing around, just glazing at each other like, are you playing Pokemon Go as well?
But nobody actually talks to each other. You make like a couple references to Pokemon Go, and then you awkwardly go back to staring at your phone.
Oh, no, that's not been my experience. I mean, I actually started talking with a couple people who just came to hang out at the lure stuff. That was pretty cool.
Maybe there's a bunch of Aspies where I'm at.
I would stop playing that game, but then, like, there's people who are rubbing it in my face about how good they are at this thing that requires nothing of you.
Doesn't that, like, itch that weird competitive thing in the back of your head?
It's not good, man. It's real not good.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it because I don't want to hear shit from my wife and my little brother. Like, man.
It's a weird mix because, like, the game doesn't really have that much to be competitive about, but when other people that...
The collection thing.
I don't know, it's weird. Like, when there's other people that aren't competitive by nature, if that makes any sense. Like, my girlfriend's not, like, a really serious gamer, and she never gets competitive by anything, and then she just beat me in levels, so I'm just like, fuck that, can't let that stand.
You really can't let it stand. I know. So you're doing this terrible thing, or I'm doing this terrible thing that I don't even like, just because I don't want to hear that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't care as much. Like if my buddy, levels up more, gets some different skins than Overwatch. So I was like, oh man, fuck that. Okay, something to strive for. But I don't know. It's just something about this. It's like that kid that beats you in a fighting game by just smashing buttons.
I used to be that kid.
But no, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they'll add different generation Pokemon too to kind of just give us more variety.
They said they would.
There you go. You got like an unlimited fucking money counter there.
Did you see that weird little bracelet
already
thing
have.
that they're making?
Yeah, it's like it syncs up to your phone and kills the battery even faster, but it'll buzz whenever there's a Pokemon nearby.
That's it. It's very low power consumption. Bluetooth. I mean, my Apple Watch is continuously synced to my phone via Bluetooth, and that doesn't really affect the battery all that much. So, like, not at all. At the end of the day, after using the thing for data gathering or whatever, I'll still have about 30-40% battery left on my iPhone. So Bluetooth is not as much of a drain as it used to be.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but the thing is like 40, and people are already trying to sell it by eBay for 100.
Jesus.
I saw. Like, the thing's not even out yet, and people are already trying to do this shit. Capitalize on the phenomenon, I guess.
I reckon. Anyway, so that's that.
Yeah. Other non-Pokemon related things. Sam, please tell me more about Anna.
Oh man, Anna's great. I played. I didn't want to. I have a weird thing about playing on the PTR, but I did want to see what that was all about. So I played about 3 rounds and then jumped off and uninstalled it because I don't like that. I mean, progress doesn't even matter in that game, but at the same time, like I feel like I want to play it when it's live, not in the weird test sandbox.
Well, how does she feel?
She feels great, man. That rifle is so choice, man. It makes like a nice little ping when you shoot it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's really weird because you have to teach yourself to not shoot enemy players. Essentially,
I mean, you can
keep you can, but that's not the way you should play because she doesn't really do all that much damage. So you have to sort of teach yourself to always target your own team members with the sniper rifle, and that's really counterintuitive for like the first 10 minutes or something like that, and then it becomes second nature.
I don't know.
She is a lot of fun though.
I feel like she'd be really good to pick off like stragglers or people that are like on the run because she's got her biotic grenade that negates healing, and then she's also got doesn't her damage do a little bit of a dot afterwards?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but it only totals out to 80, I think.
Okay,
so it's not that much, but I mean, why not? I mean,
and she doesn't have any real close range damage abilities, does she?
She's got that grenade, and I mean,
melee.
you can put people to sleep, which is cool too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's literally like you got the sleep to mitigate somebody attacking you, and then that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
she's just at best like way behind your team, just healing your team.
yeah, she's
That's
way
the best place for her.
fun to play. But I want to see her. The other thing with the test realm is that most games you get like 5 or 6 of her.
Right, because everyone's trying her out.
So I do want to see. I want to see her in the live server where you can actually play her in a real game and get a sense of how all that goes. But my initial impressions, I like her a whole lot. And dude, I don't know if you've seen Zenyatta with his.
I was actually about to ask, dude. I heard he's like a monster with like the speed buff.
His movement speed is like hilarious. The first time I saw him pop his ult and go zipping around a corner, it's hilariously fast. You see the patch notes, you're like, okay, cool, he's a little faster, that's great. And then he just zoop comes whizzing by like a freight train. It's funny.
Is that his base speed increase, or is that only for his ultimate?
I think it's only for his ultimate. Yeah.
Okay.
But he just comes zipping in like a fucking rocket, and it's the funniest thing in the world, man.
Yeah, there's nothing tranquil about the way he moves. Not anymore, at least.
Is everything pretty much permanently set now? Like, is that what they're going to keep him at?
I don't think so. From what I've heard, they've made a couple of tweaks already.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they are nerfing his health slightly more in favor of more shield, or the other way around.
Yeah,
No, I heard they were adding more shields and armor.
For.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, either way, it's good
Yeah,
though, because I was worried that he was pretty much going to fall by the wayside because Anna does basically everything he does but better.
Well,
I'd say they fill different roles. I mean, Anna has
Long range
Anna's
healing.
got some combat advantages in addition to being long range.
Zenyatta
But I
still
think,
melts
well,
people in the right
Yeah,
circumstances.
he can do high amounts of damage,
Yeah,
which is something Anna can't do.
that's true. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like Zaynata was just super situational because you barely saw him picked any in competitive at all.
Yeah, which is why he got the buff now.
So I don't, it'll be interesting seeing him live and see how that changes.
I still think he's a rad
It's going to be
character.
fucking hilarious.
He's great.
Yeah. He's a really cool character, his design especially.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm glad Anna feels unique though.
Oh man, she feels great. I remain very excited about playing with her.
Remember when they were describing her abilities, it sounded like she was trying to do a lot, so it seemed really busy, but I'm glad everything seems to synergize really well.
She definitely does a lot. It's one of those characters that's definitely going to depend on who's using her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
need a lot of
An incompetent
situational
player
awareness.
Can do, yeah, an incompetent player can screw with your team significantly. Now, the first time I played with Anna, I was in a team with 5 people who played Anna, including me,
God.
and one Reinhardt. And the match started, and the only thing anyone ever said in the whole game was the Reinhardt telling us, "If I die, I'm reporting all of you."
Yeah,
We
she's
did let him
fun.
die, actually.
Good job.
Right. Anything else?
Let's see. I played a ton of Dying Light this week. That game
Nice. How you liking it?
Right.
That game's will not end. It's like a forever game. I don't know where the end of that game is.
Is that like a good thing that you're excited, or are you getting
guess.
fatigued?
I don't know. I'm lukewarm on it.
That doesn't sound positive.
It's good. I got the grappling hook, which was a huge upgrade.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
That takes away all those crappy jumping puzzles and trying to figure out how to get places. You just zip right up there.
It makes you feel like a discount with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good enough. That's fine. I feel like there's too much game there, maybe. But it's not, I don't know. I'm never excited to play it, but I'm like, I get in there and I just play it for a few hours. So, I mean, that's a positive recommendation for sure. But I'm not, like, excited about it. I don't know.
Right.
It's
I
fine.
mean, I'm glad you got something like that, get some enjoyment out of it, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely still getting enjoyment out of it. I also
It's
played
a fun game.
some Video Ball, which is a cool game. It's weird,
Yeah.
though.
I heard the writing
That
for
is-
that
that-
is God, what's the writer for it?
It doesn't really have writing. It's like
It's
an
got, well, it's
action
got a
game.
big name behind it, doesn't it?
Oh, you're talking about Tim Rogers?
Yeah, Tim Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Rogers is the best person who's ever written anything about video games. I mean, I'll
What has he
I'll
done
say
before-
that forever. He's
What has he done before this game?
you go to actionbutton.net. He just wrote a bunch of articles about video games that are all just incredible. He's my favorite video games writer, but Video Ball is an awesome video game. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it doesn't fit right now in this time and place for me.
How's that?
And that might be true for a lot of people too. I think the Steam charts say like the all-time high was 56 players, so that's not super great. But it's just like I guess the best description I heard about it was like asteroids with balls, right? So you're driving your little triangle around, shooting bullets, trying to move the ball into the goal on the other side. It's very simplistic, very cool, but right now I feel like if I'm gonna play a local co-op game, that's not where I'm at. I have like a bunch. I'd rather play like Ultimate Chicken Horse or something like that. With because the people I play with, it's sporadic and not that often. The time for Video Ball would have been 15 years ago when we were playing money matches on NBA Jam Hang Time and that Burger King bumper game.
Oh God, yeah, the little cart.
I can't remember what that was called, but like that when we were just getting super drunk all the time playing those games.
Sneaking.
Not sneaking. It was in the same pack. You know, there were 3 games. There was a kart racer, sneaking, and a bumper one where you controlled little carts trying to bump a puck into. It was almost like hockey. You're trying to get the puck into the goal. It's kind of like this game a lot. Anyway.
Big Bumpin' is what it was called.
Big Bumpin'. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were putting cash down and playing Big Bumpin' all the time and drinking tons of beers. And like in that period of time, 15 years in the past, Video Ball would have been the perfect video game.
Right.
But right now,
isn't it made by Dave Lang and Iron Galaxy?
they published it. I don't know how much of a hand they had in making it, but they published it.
Do you think that it could be possible that the low amount of sales has something to do with the fact that Iron Galaxy's name is tied to the PC version of Batman Arkham Knight?
Nah, I doubt it.
I don't know.
I don't think people care about publishers that much. I think games stand on their own weight to the point that,
That's
Yeah,
fair
I mean,
enough,
yeah,
but,
I think they care when it's like a big name.
Yeah.
and I don't even know how much they're tied to that. I mean,
I don't know either, but you know as well as I do that we, as gamers, we can be a bit petty. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with it, but probably not.
I mean, I'm looking at his design history, and it looks like he likes really minimalistic games, and I think those aren't necessarily like the biggest appeal.
well, yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I mean, it's just that right now, if I want to play a local competitive game, I have so many options. I could play Sports Friends, I could play Ultimate Chicken Horse, I could play Crawl, I could play Hidden in Plain Sight. I've got so many unique experiences to the point where they kind of pushes this one out, even though it is on its own, has a ton of merit, and is an incredible game to play.
You think the aesthetic has anything to do with that? That there's just other games that happen to look better, and that's kind of makes them stick out in your mind.
No, I don't think so. It's just it's something about the gameplay. I would just rather play something that has a little bit of a weird hook to it.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to sit down with the same group of people and play the same game over and over again, right? So I don't need something like this exactly.
Okay.
But mechanically, it's phenomenal. It's just like one of those very beautiful, simple games with a ton of complexity and depth that should ring all the right bells, but it just feels like I'm stocked up in that area right now.
Huh. Right then.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually. It's just like I play it and I'm like, God, this game would have been perfect then, but now, not so much. And none of that has to do with the quality or the strength of the game. It all comes down to where I'm squeezing in what games I want to play in that time and who I have available around me.
Well, that's a shame.
I agree. That's a great way to say it. It is a shame.
Yeah. Because you sound really positive about it, which makes it even worse that nobody else seems to share that opinion. That's too bad.
Maybe more people just need to play it. I don't know. Or maybe people don't have that unique situation. Like what you need is a house where a bunch of people live, or like a dorm room or something, and you just need that for it to blossom.
Yeah. And couch co-op stuff has been a dying genre. It's not, but you know what I mean, right? It's been a dying thing for so long now. So it's kind of a big risk to release things that are couch co-op because most people just want to play it online.
Yeah, this game has full online. I mean, that's not a problem. They got ranked leaderboards. You could grab two people right now, sit down in front of your TV, and go fight strangers on the internet if there was anybody online. I tried to find a server, and it was me and another guy waiting on two more people for 15 minutes. And that ain't gonna do it.
Sounds like it's going the way of Cobalt.
Yeah, it's definitely a similar sort of thing. But what are you gonna do, man? There's just so many games and not enough people, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just the volume is so high that stuff just falls through to the wayside sometimes. It's not fair, but
There's
there you
a lot
go.
of competition, so
Worth looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful, and the scroll text is hilarious. There's a lot of charm in that game for sure. It's $10. I mean, whatever. It's a soft endorsement, not a ringing endorsement, I guess. But I will give a ringing endorsement to every article that guy has ever written. Go read those; they're incredible.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that at some point later this week. All right. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Enrique Cancel, you're up.
no, Monster Hunter, dude. Fucking finally launched. I've been playing that.
Okay. Regardless with tales of your Monster Hunter.
I mean, it's weird because I was looking at the reviews and everybody gave it like stellar reviews, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I was reading the reviews and I don't know if I'm just jaded against the review industry, but I feel like there's a lot of bandwagoning on there. Either that or just people that don't really have an appreciation for the series, so you're not really getting an accurate review on it, because I feel like this is a step backwards. It's still a good game, and it's fun, but compared to 4 Ultimate, because 4 Ultimate had so many good quality of life improvements over the series, where it made it so people that had already played the series for long were, like they felt right at home, and like they trimmed all the fat per se. So if you've been playing the game for years, you jumped on it, there was a lot of stuff you didn't need to worry about, and they introduced new mechanics that were really fun and gave you something new to kind of appeal to the game. But at the same time, because they trimmed a lot of that fat, newcomers could actually pick up the game, and they got more easily invested in the story. It was easier for them to kind of pick up the game and go at it. And then eventually, as you play, that's where you start kind of developing the skill. So it was good all around. And then with this one, they did some really weird design choices that kind of felt like a step backwards in regards to the quality of life, where they added like weird needless complications. Like up to this point, armor, for example, like making armor, you hunt your monsters, you get your monster parts, you build the armor, and then when you want to upgrade it, all you need to do is go out in the world and find these things called armor spheres, and it's armor spheres and money. And for every rank of the upgrade, you go from like regular armor spheres to hard to advanced, and then like rare. So it becomes you actually have to go and farm these specific armor spheres, but that's the only currency you needed. And now they make it so it's this weird system where you have to upgrade the armor, and then once you upgrade it to like level 1, 2, and 3, then at level 3 you can go out and get different parts to upgrade the armor again. And it seems like this really convoluted upgrading path, which has a lot of people confused. Right. So I don't know. That feels like a weird step. There's a lot. See, I don't know, dude. There's a lot because in Monster Hunter, like armors give you skills depending like what you have equipped, and that's always been more important than the actual defense of it. So it's been really weird trying to gauge how you're going to build your character up, because armoring and leveling takes so long to do that you feel like you're with your starter equipment a lot longer than you should be. And then they introduced this whole concept of monster arts, like a hunter arts, which you pick different styles, and that affects the move set you have with your weapons. And
so it's like specializations.
Yeah, and then each move set lets you equip like these different hunter arts, which are like special moves that you can do while you're, after you fill up like a little hunter arts bar. Which, again, it's weird because what they did for a lot of the weapons is they took attacks away from weapons to split them up into styles, and then even within those styles, a lot of the weapon attacks, at least special attacks, got turned into hunter arts, where you have to have them actively equipped rather than just doing the regular combination, which. It's good for some things, like you have like most of the arts have like a unique dodge roll, which lets you bypass any damage coming at you. But you can only do it once when the bar fills up. But then they have other things like I think like there's a weapon which is called a charge shield or charge axe, which is like a sword and shield that you can combine them to turn into like a huge axe. And that used to have this really badass like charge attack that you could do, but now it's under a separate like active skill that you need to do. So I don't know, it's weird. Like for a returning player, they've added all these weird changes that has a lot of people feeling lost, and it's like a weird feeling where I've put like 600 hours into like the previous game. So coming into this, I feel like a baby. I have no idea like what the fuck's going on. It's taking me a while to I guess proceed rather than hitting the ground with my feet running like I usually do.
But you are having fun. It's
fun.
Even
like
with the new stuff that you haven't got a grasp on.
Yeah,
yet.
like the core mechanics of Monster Hunter are still there, and that's what's really fun about it. It's the fact that each quest feels like one gigantic boss battle, and the way the the monster AI is set up is it feels like it's like an actually engaging enemy that's reacting to your moves. So no boss fight's gonna be the same no matter what. So you can fight the same monster 2 times in a row, and both times the fight's gonna be completely different. So like that element's still there, but again, like they added these weird like bells and whistles on the side, on the periphery of it that kind of are distracting.
All right,
but I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, it's still enjoyable. It's just there's just something weird about it.
It's got sequelitis, essentially.
I don't know. Like I like that Capcom is trying to do something like new with the series, and they're messing around. Like that's what gave us 4, and 4 Ultimate was probably one of the best ones they've released. But with this one, I think they kind of got a little bit too like trigger happy with like adding in new unique changes.
Yeah, that's the sense I got from this. It sounds like they are advancing the series purely because they want to advance the series.
Yeah.
Like anything new goes.
It's like sake for the sake of change. Like change for the sake of change's sake, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, so it's weird. I'm still haven't done any like the multiplayer stuff. Like I usually like to play a couple hours of like solo play just to kind of get my feet wet, and then I got a Discord server set up with a couple guys, so we're going to be doing like online hunts and see how that goes.
Sounds
all right then. Report back when you've done that, please.
For sure. But that's been the main thing, and then the Pokemon Go when it works.
Yeah, when. And that's it, basically.
That's been the week. I don't know. It's been a pretty dry week in terms of games.
Yeah, I've just been focused on a couple specific things and disregarded the rest. So not as wide a palette this week from us as usual. So with that being said, so we talk about the news. So before we start off with other stuff, we're going to talk about Overwatch a little bit more because Jeff Kaplan has gone on stream and he's talked about stuff that's coming to Overwatch in the not too distant future and the slightly more distant future. And I wanted to go through that really quickly. He has said that they are working on 4 new maps right now, but not all of them will see the light of day because, game development is hard and things might end up not working out as well as they want it to work out. They're also working on new game modes, but the first new map that's coming out is going to be one of the standard modes you have in the game right now, and it's coming out soonish, so soon, TM, essentially. New skins are coming before the end of the summer, which is a godsend. We need more of those. Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to save some coins now then.
Yeah. They're getting rid of the coin flip for Season 2, like completely get rid of the coin flip. So that's going to go. That's good, probably. The coin flip is not an ideal way to resolve any match, really.
Nope.
It's a necessary evil for now, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they are going to replace that with. For Season 2, they're also trying to reduce how long competitive matches take, which means you'll probably have a shorter attack time, which is good, speed up the process a little bit more. They're going to add the ability to see ally health bars for all heroes, but not silhouettes through walls. It isn't coming with the next patch, but it will be coming to the game pretty soon. And they have confirmed hitbox changes and said that they were mostly trying to address how people could get hit when hidden behind a corner.
I did hear they were going to adjust Hanzo's hitbox.
Thank God for that, because that is unfair in some respect, like a lot. So yeah, that is coming to the game soon-ish. So let's move on to our first big story of the day, and that is Nintendo re-releasing the NES this November.
It's so tiny.
It's so cool. It's $60.
Yeah.
It's $60 and it has, 30 games on it?
Yeah, 30 games. Castlevania's on there, Donkey Kong Jr., Dr. Mario, Excitebike, the original Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, Legend of Zelda. So it's like the greatest hits of that era on one device. You won't be able to expand the game's library. The box won't be able to connect to the internet to download new stuff, and the chamber lid where you pop the cartridges into you can't open it on the new one. But for $60, it's not a bad business proposition, that one. I mean, it's got an HDMI port, so you can just plug it into your TV and play.
That's an instant buy. That is an instant buy. And whoever made that list, did a really, really good job.
That is true. Like, they definitely picked up some of the more popular ones.
Star Tropics is on there, which would be on my personal list, and I figured there was no way. And then there it was, right down there, about like a third of the way through the list. Star Tropics, great.
I'm kind of sad the original Battletoads wasn't on there.
Yeah, I guess they got rare.
I'm not trying to troll. Like, I genuinely really like that game.
I would have liked to see either Yoshi or Yoshi's Cookie. I mean, obviously, there's going to be things that you would swap. Like, I'd take out Tecmo Bowl and put something else in there. But overall, it's a pretty solid list. Obviously, there's going to be give and take, but yeah.
I mean, what are the chances you think we'll see a Super Nintendo version of it?
I don't know. A lot, I guess. I mean, this thing's going to sell out, right? Like, everything Nintendo makes is scarce. I mean, unless this is the first thing they decide to flood the market with. You either buy one on day one.
It'll be the same shit.
Or you ain't getting one.
And then I think like a day later, you're going to see eBay. It's going to be up on there for like, I think, $600.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, I've definitely learned that cycle by now. So, if I know if I want one, I better find a way to like pre-order it or buy it ahead of time. Because they're not going to make enough of them.
I like that. Around the same time, they're also releasing like a miniature version of the original controller. That one is sold separately, and it's called the Classic Controller Pro, I think. No, it's a Classic Controller, Classic NES controller, and you'll be able to use that with the Wii and Wii U as well, which is pretty cool. So.
And heads up to anybody, I don't know if you guys know this, but this Nintendo console will not have a charge adapter.
Yeah, they started doing that too, huh? That's right.
Yeah, it's USB powered, but it doesn't have like the actual adapter, so you need to make sure you have one laying around.
Right. Well, those things aren't very hard to get a hold of, right?
Yeah, no, but Nintendo's actually been doing that lately. They've actually, I know you can't get a charger with any of the new DSs because I guess their design mentality is that everybody should have one by now, so you'll just be upgrading.
It's just we assume that you already have everything. So
No,
we're not going to package it
I
in for your
mean, they're
convenience.
not wrong. Exactly.
Still though.
But it's a weird, I guess, because it's not something that we're used to, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. It is strange.
If you buy a product, right, you want that everything you need in order to play with the product is included in the box. That just seems logical to me.
How weird is it that that
Apparently
thing is
not.
so ubiquitous that that's a reasonable design decision, though?
Right? And you're like, I guess you're like, I want to be mad, but I guess you're technically right.
Yeah, it's bad news. If it's your first DS, I'm sorry, that's bad news. But still, it is strange that there's so many DSs out there over the last however many revisions that's a business decision they can make.
I think I think that's one of the issues, though. But I guess in a way, it kind of alienates new consumers because you pick it up and it's like, oh fuck, I don't have a charger for this thing, and then you go out and buy it which isn't that hard. But you'd think as somebody just like your first experience with the Nintendo product, you're like, I'm excited, and you're like, oh fuck you guys.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, yeah, I want that. I want that NES. That's a day one buy.
Yeah, kind of excited. I don't know, and it feels weird because I feel like it's like. Because I have a Raspberry Pi that has a couple of games like on it, but it's all emulator done.
Yeah, me too. I gutted an NES and did a bunch of weird solder stuff. So there's a Raspberry Pi that lives inside it, and it boots with the NES power switch. You turn it on, use the original controllers, all that stuff.
And you have like a couple. Yeah, I think I have about 60 something games on there right now. That's just you just download it from ROMs and shit like that. But
and now I feel like a real boob for going through all that trouble.
I know, right? There's just something about getting like an actual legitimate Nintendo product that lets you do this. You're like, yay.
It fits in the palm of your hand. It's so cute. It's so tiny.
It's so tiny.
I want 8. I'm going to buy 8 of them.
I mean, dude, the cool thing is I'm probably just, instead of having it on my TV, I'm just going to have it on my computer table upstairs.
Yeah,
why not both?
It seems like something you could just put on a shelf and leave it there. It looks good enough. One
Just
thing I
plug it
do
up to
like,
your
though,
monitor or something.
yeah, one thing I do like is that it has suspend points in every game, so you can just resume the game where you left it when you switch the thing off, which is nice. So no fiddling about with passwords and stuff like that.
No more trying to beat a game in one sitting.
Right? Oh man, I remember doing that.
You realize that like for old Nintendo titles, you had to reasonably beat the game for the majority of them. It had to be in one sitting.
Yeah. I did that with the original DuckTales on the NES, which was balls to the walls hard, by the way.
Except fucking Willow. Did you guys ever play that?
Yeah, Willow. The passwords in Willow were a nightmare.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like the way it had its checkpoint system would be like you would just get a password at a certain point in the game, and then when you input that password, I guess it would cue the game to fill your inventory with the weapons you should have by that point and everything else by that point.
The passwords in Willow would you could put them through a current 2016 security filter probably.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're
right. It was
right.
like a mix of upper and lower case and punctuation. I think there was punctuation. I can't remember. But
no, there was. I remember.
There were something like 16 to 18 characters long, if I remember right. It was an absolute nightmare, but it's funny. But it worked.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. So yeah, NES Classic Edition coming to us at the end of this year. So look out for that.
I kind of hope this is... Because it seems like Nintendo's been kind of doing a very slow, like 20-degree turn that'll hopefully be a 180 in terms of like their policy. Because I don't know, it seems like Nintendo's, and I don't know if this is because like they have like that like Asian market mentality, because they're very antiquated in terms of a lot of their policy. Mm-hmm. And just within the last year, we've seen them. Okay, let's try our hand at mobile gaming. Let's try our hand at leasing out some of our main IP characters to a different company for franchising. Hence with like the Legend of Zelda, what do you call it, like the Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I don't think putting the NES Classic in that row of things would fit, because
I think it does, because they don't have a habit of revisiting their old titles. Like their NES games are like gone. They're not like like Sega that would lease out all their old titles for somebody to make a Sega Genesis collection.
Yeah,
so
but
this is
you
their
gotta
way
admit,
of...
though, you gotta admit, it is cool that they are re-releasing a version of the NES, but you gotta admit that it's that is from a time in gaming where nobody has thought about the NES in fucking years, and then all of a sudden they spring this on us. I love that they do that, but
I think about the NES at least 3 times a week.
I think a lot of people do, just because I don't know, it's like Pokemon, man. It's one of people's first experiences in gaming. I think Nintendo has a very strong brand name.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
no
think
doubt.
they're just now starting to realize it. They're slowly taking advantage of it.
This thing's going to be awesome. Let's just focus on how amazing and tiny this thing is.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Sounds really
buying
cut up
one
on the
anyway.
size.
You should.
I mean, I'm definitely going to get one, dude. $60, of course.
Yeah. 30 games in a nice little box. Yeah, it's hard to resist. Even as someone who's not really all that into Nintendo stuff, a lot of the games on that list are games that I played as a little kid. So I'd be cool with a trip down memory lane for a pretty cheap price, actually. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
That's...
All right, let's talk about the evolution in Pokemon
Oh, yeah.
Go. There is a way
the
to
little hack to it?
100% get the evolution of Eevee you want by giving them specific names, and those names are references to characters from the original game, I believe. And if you name them either Pyro, Sparky, or Rainer after those characters in the games, they will evolve into the evolution corresponding to that name in the original game. So there you go. If you want a Flareon or a Vaporeon or whatever the fuck the last one was, Jolteon, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Jolteon.
Just give them the right name, and then you'll 100% get the evolution you want. That's pretty cool.
That's a nice little Easter egg, I think.
Yeah, it is. And I only wish I knew that before I got a Flareon, because I want a Jolteon because they're cooler.
Catch another
I
one.
think. Yeah, it's not so easy around
them
here. I've
all.
only ever seen like 2 of them, so I'm not getting any candy to evolve them.
I got a few.
I'm kind of
I'll
stuck
send
with the
you
one I have now.
somehow.
Yeah, hopefully when the trading goes out, we can...
Hopefully. I've got one last story, because like that Eevee story wasn't really all that big, but it's just a little heads up. If you want the evolution of your choice, you can do that. But the last one is
Actually...
Oh, go on.
No, so I guess just with the Pokemon Go, I guess, I don't know if this would count, but there's been an update on the security, I guess, data mining for Pokemon Go.
Oh, right, yeah. The whole Google permissions thing, right?
Yeah, so I guess if you sign out of the game and then sign back on, it'll actually take you to a page where you can prompt whether or not you want the game to, I guess, like collect your data and things like that, or give access to your Google presence and stuff.
Right.
Great. I choose no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's straight out just allow or deny, and it doesn't affect your progress in the game. It's just, I remember a few weeks ago, somebody pointed out that I guess the way when you first sign on, you gave Niantic a blanket permission to access everything Google related about you, which on the surface, it seemed benign enough because, they use the data to kind of just, look at where you're at with your Pokemon and things like that. Just basically tracking your Google Maps data. But I guess in the fine print, it technically had access to your Google Plus account, your profile, your emails, and all that, because that's all under the whole blanket Google account.
Yeah.
And I guess like a couple, one guy found it out, and then a lot of like game media sites got caught wind of it and started, basically saying like, hey, they're collecting your information. There's no reason for you to do this. And I think as a result, Google came out and said, all right, you're right. We're going to look into this. This shouldn't really be happening. And I think as a result, now you have the little option to just be like, fuck off. Can't do that.
Yeah, maybe I should do that, or maybe not. I don't really care what they do with my info, to be honest.
Come on, man. That's how the man gets you.
That's how the man gets me. Probably. I don't know. I sort of like this is a really stupid viewpoint to have. I know it is, but
Got nothing to hide?
I sort of accepted that privacy as I knew it would disappear the moment I got a smartphone, and that sort of happened. Yeah, I don't do something. I don't really do particularly interesting things online anyway. So anyone who wants to follow me will probably be bored to tears. It shouldn't be something that happens, obviously, but
I mean, you take some good pictures online.
That's true.
yeah, that's definitely true. But I want people to see that. So,
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think you have a choice.
oh,
Huh.
go on.
What about what?
I think if you hit deny, it won't let you sign in.
All right. Perfect.
Well, take it back.
Well, somebody should get the pitchforks.
We'll get it later.
I want to talk to you about a story I saw pop up, I think, yesterday. This is about a game called Radiator 2, which is a game with relatively short levels that explores male homosexuality, essentially. And it's a game that got banned on Twitch for some reason. And the guy who made it, he doesn't understand it. He says, what's too gay for them? What's too sexual for Twitch? Why did they change their mind about the game once I remastered the games and put them back on Steam again? They allowed that game to be on Twitch, no problem, until he re-released it on Steam. And now, for some reason, that he's not allowed to, or people are not allowed to stream that game on Twitch. And he does point out that South Park: The Stick of Truth is a game that is allowed on Twitch, and at one point, and the example he mentions here is pretty poignant, because at one point in that South Park game, you're fighting a giant penis boss monster, and it depicts graphic alien probing of various characters, but for some reason, a very, very light game about homosexuality or homoeroticism that only sort of refers to homoeroticism, it doesn't outright show it, is bad for some reason.
What's the game called? You're talking about Radiator?
Radiator 2, it's
the
called.
sequel, still radiating.
Yeah, and has been banned from Twitch.
Radiator, yeah, it's actually a collection of 3 games called Hurt Me Plenty, Succulent, and Stick Shift.
Yeah. And it's mostly just referencing stuff or making like light jokes. There's no explicit nudity in that game whatsoever, but for some reason it's not allowed to be on Twitch. And I don't know what to think of this, because it's a developing story, but I think it's important to at least bring up that this is a thing that's happening, because it seems really unfair.
I guess what changes did he make with the remastering?
I really don't know, but apparently it wasn't really all that much that he changed. Like, the content itself didn't really change.
Seems like a thing where Twitch will come out tomorrow or in a couple days and be like, oh yeah, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody, like some user reported it, and, you know, we just banned it based on that. Just a clerical thing, some kind of bureaucratic mix-up. I don't think it's like an anti-gay agenda by Twitch. I highly doubt that.
No, I doubt that.
Probably not. He wrote a blog post on it on his own blog, if you want me to read it to you, just to give him his perspective. He says, a few days ago, Twitch banned my newest release, Radiator 2, from all broadcasts by anyone throughout their entire site. This is the 3rd release of mine that they've banned. I am now the 3rd most banned game developer from Twitch, or perhaps the 2nd most banned if you count each part of Radiator 2 separately. I'm no stranger to Twitch game bans, but this is new even for me. The games bundled in Radiator 2 are actually kinda old. For the past year and a half of press coverage, interviews, game festivals and art exhibitions, and viral videos, these games were okay to broadcast on Twitch. I had thought I found a safe ground of acceptable sexuality, an extremely dangerous concept in and of itself. But with this move, they've now banned basically everything I've made. Now, nowhere is safe for me as a creator. What's too gay for them? What's too sexual for them? Why did they change their mind when I remastered my games and put them on Steam? I have no idea, and that's the biggest problem. Twitch never says anything. No email, no notification, no rationale, no reason, no pity tweet. Am I just supposed to keep refreshing the ban list to see if they banned me for every single game I make forever? This is humiliating and a dehumanizing treatment, and I wish Twitch would stop it. That's the meat and bones of the post, really.
What's the rating on it?
That's a good one.
Do they even do that? You have to put it through the ESRB to do that. I can't imagine.
I bet you that there's something about the game that probably marks it rated. It probably checks off a lot of the list and on what a game would be rated adults only, and those are banned by Twitch regardless. Because even Indigo Prophecy, or was it Fahrenheit
451?
451, like the director's cut, is banned as well. Same with Manhunt and Hatred. They're banned from being streamed on Twitch.
Yeah, but the developer seems baffled as to why the game was banned.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to play devil's advocate, but I think a really good way to get publicity for your game is to publicly say or publicly show some kind of outrage / confusion as to why it's being, banned or turned away by other people.
That's a very cynical viewpoint to immediately jump to, though.
I just feel like when you look at the ban list, a lot of the games are very sexual in nature. But again, along with those games, you have a game like Indigo Prophecy, the director's cut, which there's really nothing sexual in Indigo Prophecy itself, except the director's cut did have a sex scene added into it. And I think that it has to do more with even if the content is just even though there's no outright nudity, the game itself, it seems like all three games are really sexually suggestive and explicit.
I don't see how that's a problem, though. I mean, if you allow pretty excessive digital violence on your streaming platform, then surely, if the kids can stomach that, the kids can probably.
I mean, yeah, and I agree.
Some homoeroticism, right?
I agree, but I think that's an argument for like another topic in regards to like what American sensibilities allow. But I think what the issue is that it's just because of the strong sexual content of the game, even if it is suggestive, it's the fact that it's very clearly sexually suggestive. It's just a blanket ban that Twitch does, and it's no different than the bans it's done on other games. And I think for this guy to, be so public about his confusion, I think it's also just more reaping the benefits of the PR from it.
Well, maybe that's an unintended side effect, but I do sort of tend to agree I tend to agree with him in this instance. He does seem genuine about this.
I don't know. It just seems like very blissfully ignorant about like I don't understand why my game's banned. When you look at their ban list, it would make perfect sense.
Well, isn't it sort of logical when he says that he hasn't really changed any of the content from the original version, which was allowed to be streamed, to the new version, which just looks a bit better, and for that, and now it's not allowed to be streamed. Like the content is exactly the same. What changed between then and now?
I mean,
that's the thing I find interesting.
Twitch controls their message, right? I mean,
Twitch is also. Within the last year or so, they've actually cracked down a lot of their banning and like their content filtering for sexual content because you did have a lot of channels with female streamers and not scam artists, but people that were making money off showing indecent content on Twitch, and they've recently started cracking down on it.
They won't let my favorite Mega Man speedrunner run shirtless. I think that's bullshit.
So maybe that's just part of it now, because that's also a really recent fix on it. So maybe it just happened to be caught now and not before.
Yeah, that may very well be, but Twitch has no chill, man.
No, I mean it is a bummer, but at the same time, isn't it their house? I mean, can't they make whatever rules they want? Yeah,
technically, but me personally, like it's their project, it's their company. They are allowed to do as they please. I just personally think that this isn't grounds for banning something. It's weird that they are sort of sheltered in that way.
It is. I agree.
It is. I mean, I agree with that. But again, like that goes back to like the whole American sensibility in media, where we're okay seeing 71 people get run over on TV, but the second a nipple slips, it's all hell. Think of the children.
That's really weird, though.
It really is. Weird. I agree. I completely agree.
It's sort of different in Europe. I mean, sex is way more accepted here, so you can sometimes even find it on like daytime television.
Yeah. Even George R. R. Martin had like a great quote about it. He says, it's weird because people in America are perfectly fine hearing me describe in succulent detail an axe splitting the skull of a human, but the second I talk about a passionate sex scene, everyone goes all up in arms.
You are, as a nation, you are quite prudish, aren't you?
Yeah, buddy. You bet.
Yeah. Goddamn right. That's what you get when you're funded by a bunch of Puritans. People that are so prude, even England kicked them out.
I think that sucks. But, I mean, if Twitch continues to do stuff like that, then there will be another platform that is more open that will take over the people who, are upset with their practices. Just let the free market work. Sorry this guy got caught up in the gears.
Yeah, it's their house, their rules, and then eventually when their rules start impacting enough people, then, like you said, the free market should hopefully bring someone else up to light.
Or maybe, it's also possible, because that's the other side of the coin, is that this doesn't matter that much to the people who want to continue using the platform.
That is more likely, I think.
It's a cold way to look at it, but that's the world out there, man.
Yeah, it's true. And with that, unless somebody else wants to add something, no?
Nah.
Going once, going twice. All right, well, that means we are officially done, so we can get out of here and go outside and try to find more Pokemon, if you're me.
I got the dude with the spoons. Like, I'm looking at the dude with the spoons with, like, he's, like, 2 feet away. I'm going to go find that guy.
He's like, Alakazam, right?
Alakazam is the guy with 2 spoons.
Yeah. I'm going to go find him. We're going to have a hoedown.
I haven't seen that one. I did find a Porygon, though, in the city centre.
Ooh, where?
In the city centre from where I live. And that is basically the only time I saw it, and I caught it, but just before it got added to my collection, the app crashed.
No.
So, yeah. I haven't been able to find it since.
Apparently, sometimes when you get that thing where it freezes, right? We should throw your Pokeball, right?
Yeah, you have to wait for the loading icon to finish up, but it did that for like 10 minutes, and then I just gave up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing that I'm kind of disappointed in is that I guess apparently a big influence on what Pokemon show up or how many of them has to do with like population density. So people in the city are going to have more luck finding Pokemon than like if you live out in the rural suburbs.
Yeah. Well, luckily I live in a city, so I'm all
Yeah.
good there. You guys live in a city as well, right? Or at least very close to one.
I live in a suburb, so I'm surrounded by nothing but Pidgeys and Rattatats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
tons of those as well. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you everybody for listening. Find more links in the description. Like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter, or follow us on YouTube. Come talk
Don't
to us
forget
on
Discord.
Discord. I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. I remembered it. Come chat with us on Discord. We like talking to you guys. We have a couple of people in Discord already, and they've been pretty awesome, pretty accommodating. So let's make it even more of a party. Anyway, my name is Chris Anderson. I was joined as always by Samuel Yates and Enrique Cancel. See you next week.
Woo! Spring break!
Spring. Yeah. All right.